out her arm, thumping Richie across his chest. "Ow!" Richie said. "What are you—" "Quiet, Richie. I mean it." In the silent intersection, the two of them stood perfectly still. Ella looked out at the dark surroundings, a street in every direction, houses on corner lots, empty cars parked along curbs. "I saw something," she whispered. Something moving." "Like what?" Richie asked with concern. Then a gleam of hope flashed across his face. "Like a chipmunk?" Ella glanced at him. "Someone's watching us." Richie's face sank with such force that Ella half expected his eyes, ears, and nose to tumble to the ground and lie there like Mr. Potato Head pieces. He kept his voice to a whisper. "What? Seriously? Where?" Ella directed a finger across the street to a yard whose densely planted spruce trees grew higher than the surrounding telephone poles. A dark blur moved from the shadow of one spruce into the shadow of another. Keeping perfectly still, Ella said, "Did you see that?" "Yes. What was it?" After a moment of silence, Ella delivered the simple truth. "It was him." Every cell in Richie's body froze. Finally he said, "If by him you mean Mr. Peters checking his mail, then I'm cool with that. But if you're talking about—" "It's the same guy I saw standing in your neighbor's yard, Richie, the night I woke you up to sneak into the zoo. And it's the same guy Tank was talking about, the man who lives in the shadows, who is the shadows." Ella recalled their first meeting with Tank, the enormous Clarksville Zoo security guard formerly known as Mr. Pangborn. Her memory restored an image of the man looming above the scouts, his bald head shining, his muscular arms crossed as he spoke for the first time of the Shadowist, the near-mythical man who was hunting for the secret zoo. Now the scouts stared into the shadows of the yard. Besides swaying branches, there was no movement. If a man had been there, he was gone now. "Come on," Ella said. "Let's get out of here." And the two of them did, as fast as they could. Chapter 1. A Decision at Pizzeria. The following morning, Marlowe showed up at Noah's window as promised, and Noah gave the tiny blue bird a note that simply read, "See you after school." Clutching the paper in his little talons, Marlowe flew across Noah's yard, which backed against the Clarksville Zoo, then darted over the high wall. Within minutes, the kingfisher would find a hidden tunnel to the secret zoo, pass through it, and deliver the note to Mr. Darby. At 3:30 that afternoon, the scouts headed to Pizzeria. They had more than 2 hours before any of their parents would return home from work. Plenty of time, since their houses were next to the zoo. On the way, Ella and Richie shared again their account of someone watching them from the shadows on their walk home. Megan and Noah listened to it all, just as frightened as they had been the first time. At Pizzeria, the foursome pushed through the big double doors and walked in side by side. Noah imagined how they must have looked, steadfast and purposeful, like soldiers marching into battle. Tank and Mr. Darby were sitting at a booth. Mr. Darby was drinking something from a plastic concession cup shaped like a hippo. The cup looked out of place against Mr. Darby's long gray beard and serious demeanor. Mr. Darby had traded his usual velvet trench coat for common pants and a sweater. Perched on his nose were his regular sunglasses, concealing his eyes. Tank was eating. He'd passed on Pizzeria's traditional dish in favor of something greasier. In front of him was a wobbly stack of cheeseburgers and a mountain of French fries. His enormous arms bulged as he fed fries into his mouth. Mr. Darby beamed as the scouts approached. He rose to his feet, saying, "My dear scouts." The old man